Now available in paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, Taking Care of Business. The man who rules the world breaks in a brand new partner to help him take care of business in this action-packed, all-new John Haynes series adventure. Get John Haynes, Taking Care of Business at paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere. The mainstream media continues on in its ongoing campaign to try to demonize the name of Bill Cosby. Now, in its latest salvo in its attack on the 84-year-old comedian, your BNC News decided to go out here and twist Mr. Cosby's words in a post he placed on Instagram. Now, on this post he placed on Instagram, he talked about how he got a fresh haircut for his birthday dinner, and he made a comment referencing the late James Brown, where he talked about it's a man's world, but it wouldn't be nothing without a woman, and he praised his wife, Camille Cosby. And this whole post that he presented on Instagram to celebrate his birthday was twisted by the black host of the BNC News, Sharon Reed and Shannon Lanier, and these two bootlicking, butter biscuit, buck dancing clowns decided to say that Bill Cosby needs to sit himself down. Now, these two butter biscuit, bootlicking, buck dancing clowns, what they're trying to do is get brownie points with their white slave masters by attacking Mr. Cosby. And this attack on him, telling him to sit himself down, this is just their way of trying to dismiss and minimize Mr. Cosby, even though Mr. Cosby has done nothing wrong. Now, when it comes down to the alleged criminal case, that case was adjudicated with the overturning of Mr. Cosby's conviction, and with his conviction overturned, he has been proven innocent by a court of law. His rights have been restored, so he has every right to go out here and express himself. Mr. Cosby does not need to be attacked anymore, because it's clear to me that the evidence was presented in the case of sexual assault, and on the appeal, the case was proven to not be credible. And with Mr. Cosby getting all of his rights back, he does not need to sit himself down. If he wants to go out here, that's his right. And it is not the right of any of these people out here, like those on the BNC News, to go out here and attack Mr. Cosby, who just is expressing his freedom of speech and freedom of expression, rights guaranteed to us under the United States Constitution. If Mr. Cosby wanted to go on Instagram and make that reference to James Brown's song, It's a Man's World, and then wants to celebrate his wife, Camille Cosby, then that is his right under the United States Constitution. Those were rights restored to him as related to the overturning of the conviction. But many of these bootlicks and brown-nosers, they don't want to follow our Constitution. They don't want to respect Mr. Cosby's rights, and they want to continue on supporting the campaign where the mainstream media wants to demonize this man in the court of public opinion. But that whole campaign is a complete failure, because you can't demonize somebody when the facts present you a completely different story. Now, the facts in the Bill Cosby case is, yes, your Bill Cosby did participate in adulterous affairs, but he did not participate in any sort of criminal activity. And your Mr. Cosby has every right to go out here and sue many of these mainstream media platforms, which go out of their way to twist information regarding his case and continue to demonize his name and demonize his image, talking about how he's disgraced, talking about how he's committed crimes that never happened, like in the case of several media outlets that said he participated in sex crimes when there was no sex crime ever committed. So he has many cases of slander and libel that he can go out here and sue for at many of these media platforms. And that's why these media platforms really need to stop trying to demonize Bill Cosby, because all you're doing is making his case stronger and reinforcing many of his arguments as related to them going out here and willfully and maliciously trying to slander him. And these two bootlicks, your Sharon Reed and Shannon Lanier, what they're trying to do, again, is get those brownie points from those white slave masters. They're trying to gain favor from those white slave masters or media owners in the hopes they'll get a raise or they'll get a higher position in with what these white supremacists who own these media platforms, and they're hoping that these people will go out here and favor and approve of them. And it really again shows how sad your mainstream black media is and your mainstream media is, in that instead of presenting us with an objective piece of journalism regarding Mr. Cosby, they would go out here and look to validate the opinions of a handful of truly unethical individuals who went out of their way to try to malign Bill Cosby's name and reputation. And these individuals who are doing this, they are extremely un-American, because that whole case that was presented by prosecutor Kevin Steele flies in the face of our United States Constitution, which guarantees people due process under the law. Bill Cosby did not get due process under the law. And what's sad is, instead of our mainstream journalists going out here and reporting the story of a prosecutor who participated in prosecutorial misconduct and violated Mr. Cosby's due process rights, and further would have damaged the rights of men across this country, which we're still feeling right now, we have the mainstream media continuing to try to demonize Bill Cosby as some sort of black brute, and then still trying to dismiss him, saying he needs to sit himself down. No, Mr. Cosby needs to stand up, and he has to stand up and speak out, because what was done to him could be done to anyone out here by an unethical prosecutor, and he needs to continue speaking out. And if a man wants to go out here and celebrate his 84th birthday, a senior citizen, then he should have every right to go out here once his rights are restored under our United States Constitution by a conviction being overturned. And what the bootlicks need to do is go sit themselves down, because everybody sees that these bootlicks and brown nosers, they want to get their brownie points again from white supremacy. I know I'm repeating it, but I want people to know that these bootlicks are extremely dangerous, because these bootlicks are supporting and promoting very anti-American narratives, and these anti-American narratives are the same ones that racists and white supremacists used back during the dark days of Jim Crow to take away the rights of black American citizens. And this is what's being done to Bill Cosby. And what many of these same bootlicks, like your Shannon Reed and Shannon Lanier, don't understand is what happened to Mr. Cosby can happen to you, and what happened to Mr. Cosby can happen and just instantly like that to any black person. And that's why you have to stand with Bill Cosby, because the people standing against Bill Cosby are the ones standing against the Constitution of our country. Now, if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. And if you want to try some of my positive SJS direct fiction, like the ISIS series, the E-Steam series, the John Haynes series, and the books of the Smith-Sorrell trilogy, you can pick up those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available. Paperback and Kindle Unlimited. ISIS, the main event. It's carnage inside of a steel cage when the goddess next door steps in the squared circle with the beast from the boss in this action-packed all-new ISIS series adventure. Get ISIS, the main event, in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today.